Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and it is race day of the third race of the third season for Archer BMR. And I have everything set up, but actually, you know what? I'm going to change this driver strategy up a little bit. I'm going to do push on the tires initially because I think, if I remember correctly from what I saw in practice, running the neutral position actually progressively ran the tires slightly cool. And considering the temperature is a little bit on the cool side, I think that's probably what we're going to see in the race as well. So we're going to go ahead and go push until we get temperature up in those tires. All right, let's go ahead and start the race. I didn't pay attention to where our pole position is, but we'll hear that here in a second. Now, Mustafa should be in the front. Yeah, 9th and 17th. So it's going to be a rough race for Boris, but we have him on the faster tires, so hopefully he will do okay. We're going to be watching Mustafa here, and hopefully he will be able to make some ground here. Now we'll see how the speed of our cars do. Now Boris should have the faster car, so that should help. Mustafa's up into 8th, and may get 7th here, although he just got passed and is getting passed. As a matter of fact, we may actually want to push a little bit here with Mustafa's engine. I'm not going to do that with Boris's engine because I'm a little bit concerned with if I did that, with how that would treat him. But I get the feeling that our engines are just not up to par here because we're getting passed far too easily. And I may even turn this strategy off here because we're still getting passed. Alright, well, I didn't know how this race would go, and it looks like we're not going to do too well because of the lack of speed in our cars. So we're just going to go with a more conservative route here. And hopefully be able to do better as the race goes on, at least keep close to the rest of the pack. Because with the conservative game, we can at least blow by them if they pit. Now, I have to keep an eye on the fuel, obviously. We can see that they're eating through the tires. Our opposition are. Now, the guy in 17th is running slower, hard tires, but he still passes us. Now, Boris should pass, and he does, because he does have the faster car. And I thought that was a matter of time. He also has the faster tires. Okay, we are catching up to the guy in 16th. We just passed him. We probably will gain some positions as guys that are, you know, we're up to towards the front are going to drop back because they have slower cars. We are keeping with close to the rest of the pack. As a matter of fact, Boris is doing a good job here of catching up. There is a safety car. I think we take this with Boris now. Because I don't know how many of the rest of the people are going to be pitting. So I'm going to pit. And we're going to take medium tires here. And we're going to fuel up. Wow, those brakes. I don't know how well they're going to do. Okay. Pit. And I'll keep Mustafa out just because I don't want them running into each other in the pits. 10-second pit is pretty long. Just about everybody and their brother is pitting right now. So Mustafa's going to gain a lot of positions here. But he's going to need to pit. We could have him go on a... Hold on a second. You're going to need to go here. We could have him on a more aggressive strategy and just keep him out. Wow, everybody's going hard tires. That's interesting. To pit or not to pit? That is the question. There's not very many people that didn't pit. I guess we'll pit. We're going to lose a lot of positions doing so, though. Hell, I'll take the hard tires with Mustafa's car. We'll fuel up. And we're good on park condition. We'll do the fast pit. Not that it'll probably matter. All right. Boris gets out in 14th. Mustafa's going to be all the way in the back of the pack with this pit. I just know it. Because the car in 19th is going to catch up. And by the time we get around to the pits, Mustafa is going to get passed by everyone. Now again, I could wave off the pit and just keep him out. And keep him in 8th. Well, then we'd have to pit later and he'd just lose all those positions. So, I don't know if it matters one way or the other. Well, he's coming off now anyway. He'll be in dead last, as there goes the car in 19th. But we're going to be right behind everybody, so it gives us an opportunity. You're going to need to back off your strategy, though. Alright, well, Mustafa's going to have the freshest car out on the track. We're going to have one more lap here going really super slow, and then we will be back on track. Now, I don't know if that car crashing helped us or not. I would say with Boris, it didn't help at all. Let's actually switch to Boris here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and switch to push here so we can get some temperature in those tires. And I'm going to do the same over here. Away we go. Alright. Getting past here quite a bit. But Boris is able to actually make up ground there, briefly. A lot of action here in the middle. Mustafa looks like he has a chance here to pass somebody. Now I have to keep in mind that a lot of cars out there have the hard tires, so they'll probably be staying out quite a while. They're going to have to pit for fuel, but they might stay on the same tires. Now I'm pushing tires just to get him warm. He's already having problems with his brakes, which I knew would be a possibility. I could have him flog his engine so that we can fix both things at the same time, but maybe not a best idea. We do get up into 17th with Mustafa because of some pitting going on. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Maybe some body contact. So we're kind of sticking in this 13th spot, not able to really improve. Not really sure what's going on in the back here. Looks like Mustafa's right on this guy, but for whatever reason just can't pass him. There we go, finally. Alright, well we can stay out on these tires a little bit longer. I'm going to keep an eye on the brakes though. Fuel is fine. Now with Mustafa's car, we're probably going to pit but not change the tires. We'll just change fuel. But I'll keep him out a little bit longer. See where that gets us. Alright, I might pit after this next one. I'm probably going to be one of the first people to pit, though. Alright, so the guy in 12th is queuing at pit. Do we pit or not? I mean, I'm going to have to fix my brakes, so either way, I'm going to be in trouble. Alright, let's just go in and pit. We'll go ahead and get another set of medium tires here. We'll fuel up, obviously. But the big thing we're going to need to do is fix the brakes here. 12 seconds, not too bad. Actually, 14 seconds if we get rid of the fast pit. We're going to pit. Mustafa could pit now, but 14 seconds is a lot of time, so we'll stick out. He'll gain some positions here, as there's a lot of pitting going on. So you should probably be up into 11th here. Whether or not he'll be able to maintain it, I'm not sure. We do have some people coming out on soft tires, which will be challenging for us. Alright, at this point, I think we go ahead and cue a pit. But I'm going to stick out on these tires. I'm not going to change the tires. Even though they're at 65% health, I mean, can we get around 7 laps with 65%? I don't know about that. I might back off on the push. Although the temperatures will be really cool here if I don't watch it. You can go to neutral. Alright, I'm going to cue the pit. We're going to keep the tires. We're going to get some fuel here. And we're going to go with the fast pit here. So 6 seconds. If I were to change tires, what would be the difference? It'd be 3 seconds added time. Is that worth it? Is 3 seconds worth the chance that I might not make it around? It's only 7 laps. And I don't remember what point I pitted with these, but I would assume that it was, you know, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what lap that was. I'm sure there's a way that I could see what lap that was. Let's hit cancel here. Alright. So, Mustafa is where? Alright, here's Mustafa. So he had mediums to lap 6. And now he's running hards. Lap 6, he won't get around on those tires. I don't think. No, they should last 20. They should last 20 laps, right? That's what it says. Alright, well. Yeah, it should last 20 laps. According to that. And we've been out on them for 8. Yeah, I think we can make it. I'm going to do the fueled option. I don't think that's necessarily a wise option, but that's what we're going to do. It's going to be 6 seconds. We'll pit. I'll try it. I don't know how much I trust it, but that's what we're going to try. Boris in 16th. He's got cars behind him. So I'm not sure if he'll be able to maintain it. Now, if I fuel up here, I will have more than enough fuel. As a matter of fact, Boris has more than enough fuel. So we can flog the engine if we need to. Matter of fact, I should have probably flogged the engine when we have a lot of people coming out of the pits. Because that's the time to gain positions. Let's flog the engine a little bit here. I'm a little bit concerned, though, with the engine reliability. Whether or not we'll be able to do that. And you can flog the engine, too. Because we only need 6 laps worth of fuel now. Now, his engine should be able to... I was about to say he should be able to take it. Maybe not. Probably won't keep this up too much longer. As a matter of fact, Boris, you just go ahead and back off. Okay, Mustafa, you can back off on the engine as well. We'll wait until closer to the end. Ah, jeez. Alright, never mind. Our engines, I thought were more reliable than that, but this is a track that puts a lot of strain on your engine, so we should be okay. Boris is fighting here, though, for a position. But I can't flog that engine. I don't feel like I can. Alright, so we're in 14th and 15th. It's quite clear I should have taken the sponsorship that would have given me a little bit of money for 16th. I gotta ignore you, buddy. We've only got 3 laps to go. If your engine blows, that sucks, but that's life. There's other cars out here that have problems, so you're not the only one. As a matter of fact, our tires are running rather cool here. All right, we're catching up to the car in 12th. I mean, there's no way we're getting into 4th here, not with 1 lap to go. Or technically, I guess, 2 here. All right, you go ahead and push your engine a little bit here. You only got 1 lap left. I don't want you dropping any more places. Looks like that's going to happen, though. His tire life is kind of low. He'll make it, but... All right, we have a chance here, 11th. Just took it. Now, whether or not his engine will hold out, I don't know. Okay, here we come in for the finish. Looks like Mustafa's going to end in 15th, so there's no reason to continue to push his engine. There's no way we're going to get 10th or better, so we're just going to have Boris come across the line. Although, technically, the car in 10th was limping there. We do get past to 14th for Mustafa, because there was a car that I guess broke down close to the end there. All right, well, that could have gone better. And again, I had suspicions that it would go like that because I still think that we're behind the game as far as top speed. Overall, our cars aren't bad, but I think a lot of the other cars, they go more for the top speed game. And as a result, they kind of murder us on tracks like that. But in any case, let's go ahead and continue here. I mean, I know that a lot of the tracks that we do are top speed oriented. So we'll see if there's any demotions here. It doesn't look like any. So looks like that the change to the AI behavior has definitely had an effect. All right, so let's continue on here. So interestingly enough, that didn't affect Boris's driver standings at all, even though he finished quite poorly, I would say. But Mustafa does drop down a little bit more. I think 1 position. And our team should drop down quite a bit. We're all the way down into 5th. I'm going to assume the chairman's not going to be happy about this. And we need to have better performances now if we have any chance of even finishing in 4th would be better, hard to do considering how things are going. Okay, well, let's continue here. Let's see how the chairman feels about it, which I'm assuming is going to be negative. All right, so we had some morale hits to our drivers and some mechanic relationship hits. Big hit to the happiness of our chairman because we came in 6th. Again, I don't know how that works, but, well, I guess 6 would be kind of close. All right, well, that sucks, but hopefully we'll bounce back. I had a suspicion that we would do poorly there, and as a result, I should have taken the easier to get sponsorship bonus. But it's one of those things. All right, well, now that we've had that done, let's prepare for the next race. So, predicted to have sun on the race day. Acceleration and low speed corners are crucial. Top speed is useful. So, this track is the one that's shaped like this. And it's a tough track, but we have more of a chance, I think, with this one. So, let's get into the car. Well, first, let's read all the emails here. So, it's going to take us 18 hours to fix. We'll accept the interview. Yeah. Well, let's say he's going to bounce back. That gives him some morale, and he'll bounce back. That gives him some morale. Yay! Okay. Then we have that scouting report and another racing team's driver. So we're not going to worry about that. It's a reserve driver too, a really crappy one. So okay, let's go. Well, we got to repair the car, so let's do that. Car repair complete. And we get another scouting report. And again, another team's driver. Pretty good driver. And our repairs are finished. So let's go right into the improving of parts. So obviously we're going to want our reliability to continue to increase. But at the same time, until we have that next part built, I think we're going to switch back to the improving of parts. And we're going to switch up a little bit what parts we improve. So right now we're improving brakes and engines. I think we're going to stop with the at least that engine. And let's go to gearbox improvements here. So I want to improve this gearbox. We're going to have another gearbox incoming, so we'll probably improve that once it arrives. And what else can we improve here? I guess I'll improve the other set of brakes just to improve something. And that looks good to me, except for reliability of parts. Is there anything that is needing more of a change here? We could work on the other set of suspension. We've got our other gearbox. We're going to have a gearbox incoming, so I'm not really worried about that. Engines, we're going to be building a new engine, but I don't know if we're going to be using it. So I'll just stick with the reliability change here. I think we're pretty much good. Let's go ahead. It is only going to be a couple days. Yeah, so we'll go those 2 days. We are going to have another sponsorship thing to pick up, which we still have our 3 stars, so that should be good. In any case, let's go ahead and continue till we get that part finished. That's what we're going to see here. Gearbox finished. So improving parts. We're going to stop improving the reliability here, and we're going to start improving the reliability of the new gearbox, which is here. And we're really going to need to go reliability here now. All right, what else do we want to improve reliability on that we haven't already? Well, we can improve the brakes here. Let's do that. Improve the reliability of the brakes. We'll go full hog on that. We'll do that for a couple days. But before I get into anything, I got to remember to build a part, especially as the next part we're going to build is the engine. And we want to make sure that we get that done quickly because that is one of the longest things to build. So we'll build the engine. And let's see. We're going to want plus 25 to max. And then we're going to want... I'm going to guess this. So plus 5 days and plus 42 max. In theory, we'll get it done before the next race, but there's no way we're going to get the reliability up enough to use it. So this is going to be a pretty damn good engine once we build it. So let's build that part. And confirm. And... just out of curiosity, how much of an improvement is that going to be? As a matter of fact, that engine might not be as good as the other engine we have initially. I mean, we have been improving it, so that's probably why. But it'll be a lot better than the other engine we have and have a lot more ceiling for improvement as well. All right, well, reliability, I guess I'll keep with things as they are. We'll go a few days here. Well, we'll stop whenever this stops us automatically. Okay. Got something in the mailbox. I'm going to assume... okay, something about Octane Racing. One of the drivers not happy. Okay, so we have all 3 sponsorship offers. Let's take a look at them. So we've got 2 3-stars and a 1-star. So the 1-star is 450,000 now, and then 85,000 for 4 races. This is 750,000 up front. That's not great. 200,000 though per race for 10 races is pretty damn good. That's worth 2 million alone. I know it's more than 2.5 times the length of this one, so you'd have to multiply this 2.5 times to get the same value. But I still think that this is the best one to take, so we'll accept that. It doesn't give us any upfront cash, but it's not a bad one to take. 200,000 per race is pretty good, and I'm looking forward to this one. Granted, that's a 3-star. So we have all 3 stars here. Not all 3 stars here, though. So we can improve here with sponsorships. And where are we on sponsorships? We're ranked 4th. We're ranked 6th in cars, 6th in drivers. All right, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to get into 1st position this season, but I'm really trying to improve our cars enough. Let's take a look at the improving of the parts, though. All right, so our gearbox is up to 69%, and it's questionable on whether or not I'll be able to get the new engine that's incoming up reliable enough to use. So, but this is at 69%, which is pretty good. And what else we got? We got this at 71%. We've got, I guess our suspension is really all that we have left to improve reliability on. That we're not already working on, that is. So I'm just going to go ahead a couple more days here. And we'll see at that point what we can do. And I want to make sure we're improving full reliability here. Yeah, we are. Sometimes it flips. You never really know. All right. It's a couple days. We're at 70%. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And we'll work on, let's say, this suspension, even though it is the one that's more reliable for right now. And what is our actual next race going to look like? That's going to be this track, which does have top speed and low speed corners as being crucial. So top speed is still a thing. And then we're on to Munich, which isn't all about top speed. And then we're on to all the tracks that are very top speed oriented down here, especially Milan. So hopefully by the time we get to Milan, our engines will be a lot more powerful and we won't get such a bad performance. All right, let's continue here. A few more days. Okay, we've done that. Let's go into the improvement of the parts. So we're at 71%. That's pretty good. Let's switch over to the other suspension bit here. So we're getting our parts slowly but surely up close to the 70% mark. We are at 70% with our one engine. I guess I'm going to just stick on that engine, though, because I mean, we're going to eventually want to do better than 70% anyway. So let's stick with that at least for a few days. We've got another scouting report here. Again, another team's driver, a pretty good driver. So let's continue here again a few more days. Okay, done that. Got 8 days for that engine to be built. So again, I'm not sure if we're going to get that in time. Go to the improved parts screen. So we're at 71% with our engine here. I'll go a few days, I think, on our other engine just to get it up in reliability so we don't have any problems. We're at 47% on that gearbox. I don't know how good that gearbox is going to be for us. Let's continue here. Okay, a few more days. And see how we're doing now. So the engine's up to 73. That's not too bad. We're at 72% with this suspension. So let's switch to something else. We can switch to, I mean, it's a matter of just kind of switching back and forth and making sure that we're, keeping on top of things. Let's get our gearbox up because we're going to need that for this race. That's going to be, kind of brutal on our gearbox. All right, let's go ahead and continue some more until this event ends. Okay, we've got stuff in the mailbox. So scouting reports. Another team's driver. Another team's driver. And another team's driver. Mostly we're just finishing up the scouting and what have you. So as far as improvement goes, we're at 73% with the two things that we're improving here. So I'm going to switch back to the engine here. And what else we got? 65. I mean, this is all good. I guess we could, we'll keep it on the engine, I guess, because 71% seems to be kind of the low point for now. But I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.